And we're kind of taught that you don't ever want to make someone feel sad. So don't bring up something that makes them cry. That's rude. But for me, it's like Jacob was all I could think about. Still all I think about, and I didn't want to be alone in remembering him. I wanted to bring people in and make sure that his story was told. So I just continued to do that day by day by pulling photos that he had taken of me or portraits I had taken of him and paired them with some sort of memory spurred by that photo.
And what was the initial response to that, and what has been the response to that?
The response to my sharing on Instagram Jacob's life and our story has been absolutely...
That's good. I'm sorry. I'm
That's okay.
Pause it and see if there's ever upstairs. All right. So is it recording? Yep. All right. So tell me about the response to the pictures you posted. What has been the response?
First of all, I had no idea that sharing photos of Jacob would draw an audience. I thought that the people who already knew him would enjoy hearing stories about him, and I really didn't think it would interest anyone outside of that. The first person to reach out to me was a women's blog, and they just wanted a first-person account of what had happened, and because in and of itself it's shocking that a 30-year-old man who is otherwise healthy dies, and what happens to their partner. Then Instagram reached out to me, and they wanted to feature a photo, I think in part because of the really high engagement that I was getting on each post. Like 50 people would comment, messages of support or sharing their own struggles or personal experiences around death and loss. And that's sort of when the Instagram account took on a whole nother layer of being a place for people to talk about their feelings and connect with me because I'm emotionally available and open and telling my own truth. And since then, it's just kind of been this exponential growth and outward, like people tell people, and it just continues to be shared. I sometimes don't know what to make of it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect my story to mean so many different things to people. And I think it's really beautiful in large part because who Jacob was as a person comes through paired with my writing and photos of him. People feel like they know him, even though they never had the opportunity to meet him. And if that's all I ever accomplished, then that is so much to be proud of, because he was such an exceptional person. And now all of these strangers have been made better by his impact in my life.
What do you hope people are taking away from your photos of him?
At first, I hoped that other people, young and in love, would have a conversation with the person that they're sharing a bed with about what they would want and who they are to each other, because I think Jacob and I had a rare connection that we were constantly telling each other how we felt and how much one another meant to us, meant to one another. But not everyone has the ability to speak their feelings and say, I love you. And I guess I just wanted to encourage people that there's no harm in saying how you feel. And more than likely, it will bring you closer to your partner if you talk about these things.
Can you give me an example of something that someone said to you that's affected you? Or a story?
Oh, there's so many.
Positive.
A woman reached out to me who was in her late 30s and was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Doctors told her that she would hopefully make it to 42 or 43, and she had 2 young daughters. And she wrote me that seeing my experience has given her a new peace of mind, because she sees me trying to live my life and try to find joy and try to find love, and I'm continuing to thrive. And she's like, my biggest fear has been that my death will ruin the lives of my children and my partner, and seeing you celebrating your husband and finding the positive aspect in the tragedy gives me hope that my daughters and my partner will be able to do the same.
And how does that make you feel?
I think it's incredible. I think that my story in this very rare case, in Chicago, can reach someone halfway across the world and make her interaction with her daughter somehow different or more peaceful. And I just don't even know how to put that into words, how much that means to me. And there have been so many people that have reached out to me, losing their partner or losing a parent, and never being able to talk about it openly with even the other people who experienced it. But reading my account maybe makes them feel like they understand what their mother felt like when their father passed away. I'm giving them a view into what it's like to lose a person, period. And also people who are afraid of death maybe are made to be more comforted by the fact that we continue to survive even when the most unimaginable pain falls into our life.
We live in this world where social media, and some people think that it's kind of made us impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see each other in person anymore. We tweet with each other, we Instagram with each other. But you've made it personal. And do you think people respond to that? Do you think there's something about that?
I think that people are definitely responding to my raw emotion. And it is true that most of us only present the best version or the highlight reel of our lives on social media, and I think that's natural. But when my life as I knew it was completely destroyed, I no longer had the option of a highlight reel because everything was tragedy. And I felt like if I was on the outside, I would be wondering, what does she think? What does she feel? What is she doing today? How is she coping? And I wanted to give the people close to me reassurance that I was okay. This is what I'm thinking about today. And kind of invite people in to experience it, because I know the curiosity is natural and there. And I think my background